So find the vertical deflection at joint B of a truss as shown in the figure. So this is the joint B. So you have cross sectional areas written in brackets for each and every member to calculate, and the procedure to calculate is that first step, keep all the external loads. So external loads are acting at 120 kilonewton, that is at E. So for this external load, what are the forces acting in all the members of the truss? Point number one. Number two, remove the external load, apply the unit load, and then calculate the forces in all the members. Okay. And then whatever the forces you calculate for the external load, that is P. And where do we need to apply the unit load? We need to apply the unit load at joint B. That will give K. So PKL by AE will give you the total deflection at joint B. Okay, that is how we need to solve this problem. So now let us try to consider the first case. First case solution. First case, calculation of forces in all the members due to external load. Due to external load. So now see here. So this is what we need to use for this figure. Let us try to first calculate the reactions. So this is a roller. Okay. So first let us try to calculate the reactions. So how do we calculate the reactions? The reactions are calculated by taking the moments about any joint, right? So what is the load acting? 120 kilonewton. When the load is 120 kilonewton, what do we need? So first reactions. So we have RA here, the RC here, RA and RC. So sigma Fy is equal to 0 implies Ra plus Rb is equal to 120 kilonewton. Okay. So this is symmetrical. You can see this is 4 meters, this is 4 meters, and the load is acting at the center. So what will be the reactions? Half of the total load acting, or sigma Ma is equal to 0. Sigma Ma is equal to 0 implies Rb into 8 is equal to 120 into 4. So Rb is equal, Rc. So this is also Rc. So Rc is equal to 60 kilonewton. Here also C. And Ra is equal to 60 kilonewton. Okay. Ra 60 kilonewton, Rc 60 kilonewton. So this is exclusively when only unit load is when only external load is acting. So that point we need to we should not forget. And one more thing is, if you see the inclinations, all the inclinations are given by 45 degrees, because you see here all the dimensions are same. All the dimensions are same. So what do we have here? So we need to take 120 kilonewton. 120 kilonewton is the external load, and all the inclinations are 45 degrees, because you see here tan theta is equal to 4 by 4. So tan theta is equal to 1, theta is equal to 45 degrees. So tan theta is equal to 4 by 4 is equal to 1. Theta is equal to 45 degrees. That's what you can see here. Okay. Theta is equal to 45 degrees. Now, what should we do? We need to take the joints, write the corresponding areas we already know. So we will take this joint and try to solve the problem with by calculating all the forces in the members. Okay. So let us take that. See here. Now forces in all the members. Forces in all the members. So for this, assume the direction of force to be tensile. Assume that all forces are in tension. Uh, all forces in members. All forces in members are in tension. Okay, so that it becomes very easy for us to solve. So anyways, inclination is 45 degrees. And now let us take joint A. So this is 60 kilonewton. So 60 kilonewton is acting reaction, upward reaction. Okay. So this is 60 kilonewton and this is also 60 kilonewton. So first we will take joint A. Now we are using method of joints. We are using method of joints. What all we have got? So see here, this is A, yes. So this is FAB, this is FAD, and this is 60 kilonewton. Okay. Now what should be right? Sigma Fx is equal to 0 means this is positive, this is negative. Okay. So what is that? FAB is equal to 0. So there is no force acting. Next, sigma Fy is equal to 0. Upward positive, downward negative. Implies, so both the forces are upward. So FAD plus 60 is equal to 0. FAD is equal to minus 60 kilonewton or 60 kilonewton compression. 60 kilonewton compression. So this is where the concept of zero force member would come into picture. Zero force member. So this is a zero force member. Even this is also zero force member. Now we got FAD, right? Now what do we need to do? We need to calculate, take the joint D and calculate the forces. See guys, for these type of trusses, you need not calculate for all the members because see, we already have the symmetry at this point. Symmetry means whatever we have on the left hand side, same thing will be there on the right hand side. See, inclinations and the forces, the load, everything is same on the left hand side and right hand side. So which means if we can calculate for AB, that will be same as BC. If we can calculate for AD, that will be same as for CF, and if you calculate for DE, it will be same as for EF. So we need to carefully apply the concept of method of joints to one portion. So AB, BC are same, then AD and CF are same, and then we have BE different. BE is different, and what else we need? So that AD and CF are same, DE and EF are same. So DE and EF are same. So with that concept, if we try to calculate for left hand portion, we will get the same thing for the right hand portion. So that we need to be careful. Okay. Now let us try to go for joint D. Okay, let us try to go for joint D. So now we are done with this and this. So joint D. So when we take this, see here, this one, we have this, and we have this. Okay, so this is FDA, this is FDB, and this is FDE. Now we have to resolve this into horizontal and vertical components. So how do we do that? FDB cos 45, and this is FDB sin 45. FDB sin 45. Now sigma Fx is equal to 0. So this is positive, this is negative. So what is that? FDE plus FDB cos 45 is equal to 0. So FDE is equal to minus FDB cos 45. So let us write like that. Now let us take sigma Fy is equal to 0. Sigma Fy is equal to 0. So what are all the vertical forces? So upward positive, downward negative. So FDA plus FDB sin 45 is equal to 0. FDB is equal to minus FDA by sin 45. So that means what is FDA? Minus 60. Minus of minus plus. So FDA value is, so FDA value is already known to us. So therefore we have to substitute that BD. So that will be positive, isn't it? So minus of minus 60 by 1 by root 2, that is equal to 60 root 2 kilonewton tensile. 60 root 2 kilonewton tensile. Now, so we already got what is FDB. Substitute it here. So FDE is equal to minus of 60 root 2 into cos 45, 1 by root 2. Root 2 get cancelled. That is equal to minus 60 kilonewton or 60 kilonewton compression. So we are done with DB and DE. Okay. Now what is the only member left now? Joint E. So joint E. We'll take joint E and try to solve. Yeah. So if you take joint E, so joint E. See joint E, what all we know? AB is known, AD is known, DB is known, DE is known. Okay, let us take joint E. E. So here FED, FEB, FEF, FEF. So simple. Sigma Fx, and we have 120 kilonewton load also. 120. Sigma Fx is equal to 0. What is that? This is positive. This is negative. So FED minus plus FEF is equal to 0. So FEF is equal to FED. So what is FDE? How much we got? Minus 60. So that is equal to minus 60 kilonewton or 60 kilonewton compression. So we got FEF. So as I said, ED and EF are same, symmetry. Now sigma Fy is equal to 0. Upward positive, downward negative. That implies 120 plus FEB is equal to 0. FEB is equal to minus 120 kilonewton, or you will get 120 kilonewton compression. So now did we get all? You see here we got this also. Now how much will be this? So FBF. Now if you take joint F, we'll get FB and FC, and then we'll get CB. So but simply you can write due to symmetry, due to symmetry, due to symmetry of the truss, FAB is equal to FCB, FAD is equal to FCF, FDB is equal to FEB. So let us write what is FAB: 0, FAD minus 60, FDB, FDB is 60 root 2. FDB is 60 root 2. And same is the case with FDB. Sorry, this is FBF. This is FBF. FFB. Okay. So now we are done with the first part of calculation of piece. So what do we need to do next? We need to take the unit load applied at a joint where we need to calculate the deflection. Unit load at a joint where we need to calculate the deflection. So that is what we need to do. Now see here. So second, remove the external load. Remove the external load and apply unit load at B, unit load at B, and calculate forces in all the members. Forces in all the members. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So now we need to carefully try to solve this problem now, because same process, there is nothing different, everything is same, but the only thing is applying the unit load at 1. So this is what we need to do. Now the remaining process would remain same. So RA, RB, RC, RC, everything is same. So let us try to first calculate the reactions and then try to go for calculation of forces in all the members of the truss. So first say reactions. Okay, implies RA plus RB is equal to 1. So center load, RA is equal to 0.5 kilonewton and RB is equal to 0 RC. So this is a common convention we use, right? So that's why I'm getting C. So RC is equal to 0.5 kilonewton. Okay. Now, again, same process like whatever we used to do for the truss with external load, we need to apply the same to get the values of the forces in all the members of the truss. Now take joint A, same process, joint A. Okay, so this is 0.5, this is 0.5. Again, symmetry will hold good. So when you take joint A, So this is 0.5. This is K. So let us write this in terms of K. So KAD and this is KAB. So sigma Fx is equal to 0 implies KAB is equal to 0. Sigma Fy is equal to 0 implies KAD plus 0.5 is equal to 0. So KAD is equal to minus 0.5 kilonewton or compression. Okay. So this we got. This we got. Now let us take joint D. If we take joint D, same process. Whatever we have done before, same. So KDA, KDB, KDE. So resolving into KDB cos 45, KDB sin 45. First sigma Fy is equal to 0. KDA plus KDB sin 45 is equal to 0. So KDB is equal to minus KDA by sin 45. So that implies minus 0.5 minus of minus plus 0.5 root 2 kilonewton. Sigma Fx is equal to 0. KDC plus KDB cos 45 is equal to 0. So KDC is equal to minus 0.5 root 2 into 1 by root 2. Root 2 cancel. That is equal to minus 0.5 kilonewton. Okay. Now we will go to another joint. So what all we have got now? So we got this, this, this and this. So joint E. Joint E. So KEB. So this is KED. This is KEF. Now sigma Fx is equal to 0. So KED is equal to minus KEF. Okay. KED is equal to KEF directly. So minus 0.5 kilonewton. Sigma Fy is equal to 0. KEB is equal to 0. There is no force here. There is no force here. KEB equal to 0. So now again due to symmetry, every point, so KAB, BC and KEB is also 0. And all other values are known now. See here. So this is known. This is known. So because of symmetry, these both are same. So due to symmetry, KAD is equal to KCF, KAB is equal to KBC, and KDB is equal to KFB. KDB, KFB. So what is KDB? 0.5 root 2. This is 0.5 root 2. And what is KAB? So we already calculated KAB, that is 0. KBC. And what is KAD? KAD is equal to KCF. So minus 0.5. 0.5 kilonewton. This is 0 kilonewton. Now if you see, we got all the values for K and F. We got all the values for K and F. So what is the final step? Writing the table in terms of all the members and slowly representing it by writing their areas and PKL by AE. PKL by AE. So if you see that, you can see the table here. So this is the way we need to represent. This is the way we need to represent the overall tabular form for the calculation of the truss forces. So tabular form with P comma K. So see here, A, B, B, C, all members. So length is known to us, area is already given, forces in kilonewton. This is due to external load, and this is due to unit load. So see PKL by AE, PKL by AE. So what do we need? Sigma PKL by A into E. So total, let us first take sigma PKL by AE. So delta B is equal to sigma PKL by AE. So that is equal to, we need to add all the points. So when we add all the points, 415.53. So 415.53, the total of all the stuff divided by E, that is 200. So that is equal to, so units are all same. We have used common units. So 2.078 mm. 2.078 mm. So this is how we need to calculate the deflection. So see here, P into K, PK into L, PKL by A. So directly put it into the table and solve it. Okay. So this is how we calculate the deflection of a truss for an airport hangar, for a bridge superstructure, or a bridge structure, or an industrial shed with the truss shape, using the concept of unit load method. Okay. So thank you all for your patient hearing. So we'll see in the next class one more problem. Okay. See you.